When did you realize your friends weren't actually your friends? When they're only called you when they need something from you. The worst types of friends. I think everyone had that one friend. I would never hear from anyone unless they needed something, usually when they wanted it for free. That's about where I'm at right now. I have like 2 friends that actually hit me up besides my girlfriend. The rest only talk to me if they're trying to sell me drugs or buy drugs. Not my story, but a mate's. Guy invites all his high school friends, he's known them around 10 years, around to celebrate his new house and newborn daughter. All the lads he invites drop MDMA in his lounge room and spend the night tripping without him, not even caring that he had all this amazing stuff he wanted to celebrate. Guy walks up to the ladies, who are obviously unhappy with the situation, and tells them, "I've just realized these guys aren't my mates, they are just using this event to drop and have fun on their own." Hearing that story broke my effing heart. How is he doing now? He's doing well. Focusing in on his work and his daughter, and mates who do drugs are no environment to raise a child around, so he's not unhappy with the loss of that friend group. Now he hangs out with my group a bit, but he's a family man, so the family comes first, always. When I realized I was practically harassing them to hang out with me. Just got to get some self-respect and learn to let it go. Edit. Thanks so much the awards everyone. I shall hang them on my wall. Not sure if anyone will read this. But, it's really the first time I've opened up about this. My best friend that I had since high school pretty much stopped trying to hang out with me ever since I moved out of my parents' house. I come from a decent well-off family. But, ever since I moved out, things changed between us. Before things went south after 2006, we hung out a lot. But he was kind of a weird friend. It's the little things over the years is what I picked up on. But since he was my bestie, I would let it go. I remember back when LAN parties were all the rage, I invited him over, and he was making fun of people to me. I let him know that isn't cool and he left a few minutes after that. I transferred to a different college that was in the same town as him. And I thought, alright, we can hang out even more. So, anytime I tried to hang out with him, there was always an excuse as to why he couldn't hang out despite him hanging out with other people. At the time, I was a huge pushover of a person. I was only at that college for 2007 and we only hung out once. After that, I didn't see him until 2010 when I had to go to his work to get his new phone number. He did happen to invite me to hang out on his birthday. And I thought, cool, maybe we will be friends again. Went over to his place, it was a birthday party. But I noticed he really didn't have much to do with me. And he didn't ask me to join in when he was doing group pictures. During the party, I noticed another friend I haven't seen since high school. I asked if we could hang out and talk about old times. He says that would be great. He says that the 3 of us, including my former best friend. But, the day that I was supposed to hang out with them, no answer when I called and texted. That left a really bad taste in my mouth after being ghosted. Fast forward to 2012, my daughter was born. My former best friend was still the first person I called to come see her. He showed up, hung out for 15 minutes and said he had to leave. After that, I couldn't get any type of time to hang out with him. But, in 2019, I asked if we could hang out during Christmas Eve since he would be in town when I'm visiting my family. He said he would. Once I spent some time with my parents, I let him know I couldn't slip away. He says his brother-in-law has his car and he didn't know when he would come over. I asked when he would like to hang out, no response. After being left on red for a week, I just deleted all my former friends from the group we hung out with. I also blocked him and his wife from viewing my Facebook. I'm still pretty broken up about it since I don't have many people I associate with outside of my family. Edit. Thanks for the silver reward. It does feel better talking about it. And I haven't even told my wife about it. Same. It was bittersweet. This hits home. After a few times basically begging them to invite me to stuff, I finally realized that I wasn't really their friend. The heartache is just not worth it. Edit. Wow, I never received awards before. Thanks for the hugs. A bit of backstory. I traveled a lot just to see them, across states and whatnot. Spent a lot of money too. What made me realize they were such jerks is when they invited this person in the group, who lived in the same state as me, for a fun group trip and not me. I'm still angry at the fact that when they visited my state, I let them sleep in my house and gave them a tour of the town. When I got ill, once they realized I could no longer throw parties for them, they all left. I hope you have found friends that will stick with you. I'm too old for that now. This happened about 10 years ago. I've been fine without people. It's never too late to get friends. True, but sometimes you also don't care. Me and two girls were walking down the street and they completely ignored me, so I was walking behind them. Then I decided to just turn around and walk back home. They didn't notice and they never asked where I went. That really hurt. Also, at another point, one of the girls came up to me and just flat out said to me, "Sometimes I don't understand why you have friends." Well, recently I've started wondering about it too. What a bitch thing to say. Mom got cancer and I had to come home and drop out of college to help the family, said I might need some emotional support etc. and got ghosted the next day. Real crafty part is I helped one of them with their grandmother's cancer and brother's attempted suicide. I'm so sorry to hear that. That was disgusting of them. I hope you and your mom are doing great. Thanks, we're doing fine. That was about 2 years ago and my mom finished her last chemo appointment in October. And is now cancer-free and we hope it stays that way. Thanks for the positive vibes. I was like a decoration on their conversations with each other, and they only talked to me to tell me things like "be quiet" or "can I borrow this please?" They're just gross. You deserve better friends. When no one checked if I was okay when my dad died. Are you doing okay? Not really, but it is what it is. Hey buddy, I'm real sorry to hear. Losing a good parent is rough. But the world is bigger than you think. I see all the time on Reddit, people actually relate to each other's problems. You might not have good people around you for friendship right there. But there's a whole world online here. You'll find some people you can relate with. I'm very new to Reddit, but I've seen more kindness here in a month than any other social media platform. It seems like the norm on the internet has become cruelty, with thousands of faceless spectators laughing while throwing cabbage and old fruit. Maybe they happens on here, too, but so far I haven't seen it. Makes me hopeful. It's nice, except for when you say an opinion that doesn't agree with the rest of a subreddit's audience. Also, politics are a mix. Sometimes people won't get mad, sometimes the same people will get mad at someone else saying the same thing, so just stay away from politics. Good advice for the real world as well, smiley face. I'm so sorry for your loss. I hope you're doing well. When I was in deep depression and finally opened up to my friends and they made fun of me saying I was only trying to get attention. Edit, I did not expect this to get so much attention. I thought it was simply going to get buried and forgotten. But for those who asked, I am much better now and I haven't spoken to them in years. Also, thanks for the awards. That's effed up. It is effed up, but sadly it's more common than I wish it is. I've also been through some rough times, had my sad moments, and the moment I opened up to my friends all I got was, PFFF, stop complaining and man up you sissy. My friends told me the same thing. I was self-harming due to severe depression and suicidal tendencies. When I finally got diagnosed, I saw one of my best friends and we talked about it. I asked her if she knew what borderline was and she went on a long rant about how horrible people suffering from this was and how she never ever could be friends with anyone who had that because they are all basically manipulative evil people. Guess what diagnosis I had just been given? Oops. I still don't get how she couldn't have seen that one coming. I brought it up during a conversation about how my evaluation was done and I had now been officially diagnosed. You should have seen her face when I informed her that I have that diagnosis. That one ended well though, because she was actually a good friend and realizing that I was indeed one of those people helped her see that she was wrong and basing her impressions of the disorder and its sufferers on malicious stigmas. But then I had another friend who straight out told me that I was weak for seeking help. Pissed me off like crazy. But then I had another friend who straight out told me that I was weak for seeking help. I sincerely hope that you told that friend to F off. I'll offer some advice that comes from 40 years of figuring things out. If they make you feel bad more often than they make you feel good, they aren't your friend. If they crap talk about mutual friends to you, they're also slagging you off to those self-same people. They aren't your friend. If you are constantly the butt of their jokes in front of other people, they aren't your friend. If they undermine your achievements, or are only supportive when they want something, they aren't your friend. If they're effing your fiancé behind your back, they're definitely not your friend. Bit of a specialist category, that one. Wait, they FK'd your fiancé? Ha. Yeah, the TL. Doctor version is that while living with them for a short time, a close friend and his partner seduced my fiancé. It didn't take much doing, to be honest, and pulled her into their swinging scene. This continued, behind my back, for 8 years after we moved out, before I finally couldn't deny she was cheating on me and broke up with her. That's when I found out who she was cheating with. 8 years? What's just as surprising as an 8-year engagement? The plot thickens. When I broke up with a girl that I had dated for less than 5 months and they all abandoned me for her, and then I found out they all were taking a trip to Colorado together and nobody even bothered to tell me. I found that out on Facebook. I was in a group of friends at university and one of them was Swedish. This was remote friendship. We distanced. But I accidentally came across on Facebook that the Swedish guy came to visit the others. I'm unsure if I would have gone, but I would have liked to have been included. The silence confirmed that I was better off not in their lives. It's a horrible feeling when you're excluded from group activities like that. It's even worse when you've been actively trying for a while to see someone/a group of people, but they keep dodging you. Was talking to her during class and she just says, "Why don't you have other friends?" It was terrible, especially since this guy behind us just froze at her comment and stared at us to see what happens next. Edit. I honestly didn't think this would get this much attention and criticism. But I'll give you the context of this. Also, I'm sorry to anyone saying they had similar experiences, that feeling really sucks. I, female, was extremely close to her since elementary school, and this happened in middle school in the middle of class. We were just talking normally when she just blurts this out, which is why I mentioned the guy. I think he was talking to us when she said it, and he happened to be my crush's best friend. So it was even more embarrassing that he heard this. Also, I wasn't always bothering her with my problems. In fact, I had always felt left out because it seemed like I was more her friend than she was mine. I did have other friends, but like I said, me and her were close. Also, the relationship didn't end between us. It did end though when she moved a year later, but after that I figured out the type of person she was. Also, her question didn't sound like a friendly question, which is clearly why I am still hurt by it after all these years. Oh my, I had this happen. I was friends with this girl so much so that I had even been to her house several times and we hung out together a lot. Then suddenly during gym class she loudly tells me to stop following her around while we were doing laps inside. It was also a few days after her birthday, which I had given her a gift for. I stopped talking to her immediately after that. I just don't understand people. Edit. Wow, I honestly didn't expect so many people to sympathize and reply. And I'm so sorry so many other people share this experience in one way or another. Also, thank you for the awards. I feel terrible. In like 2nd grade, I had a neighbor move in next door to us, and I believe their son was just a bit younger than me, probably in the 1st grade. He didn't know anyone here. And we had become friends, but he would literally stick to me like glue during recess every single day. I got so tired of it until one day I just yelled at him, "Stop following me." Well, he ran off and began crying, told his parents, which told mine. I got in trouble, etc., but we were never good friends after that. It destroyed any potential friendship bond that had been there. I still feel bad even some 25 years later. What was your answer? I just whispered, "Let's talk about this later," then sat down like an idiot. I just shut down and didn't know what to do other than try to make myself seem as small as possible. That's effed up. When I had a large hole in my foot after stepping on an iron spike. They laughed as the ambulance guys closed the doors. One of the ambulance guys said, "Some friends you've got there." I realized he was right. In high school, my long-term bully, in the year above me, threw a rock the size of my fist at me, hitting me in the back. Of course, I hit the ground screaming in pain. Most of my friends, who were sitting nearby, began to roll around with laughter as, according to one of them, it looked like I had been shot. You know things are serious when the most feared person in my year ran over and helped escort me to the medical room because he saw what happened and thought it was unacceptable. When I came back the next day, after a quick visit to the emergency room and a police statement was given, I had to deal with one or two of them deliberately poking the huge bruise on my back and laughing about how funny it was when the rock hit me. I shrugged it off for years, but it was only until last year and I started therapy that I understood how much anger and disgust the whole thing made me feel. I had forgiven the person who threw the rock ages ago, but it's only recently that I've started to try and forgive the friends who laughed at me when I was injured. Being 15 sucked. Edit. Just to add, some of those friends did come over and try and help, but it was by the time the feared kid came over. Out of a group of maybe 15 friends, only 2 to 3 showed any real concern and tried to help. The rest were laughing. One of the kids who came over to see if I was okay was called Jamie. Nice work, Jamie. Friends who laugh at you being physically attacked instead of defending you are useless friends. No. They are harmful. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.